Welcome to the Self-Storage University podcast, where you will learn the correct way to identify, evaluate, negotiate, perform due diligence on, renegotiate, finance, turn around, and operate self-storage facilities. And now, here is your host, a partner in one of the largest real estate portfolios in the U.S. with nearly $1 billion of holdings, Frank Rolfe.
Benjamin Franklin never owned a self-storage facility. However, many of his quotes related to things that self-storage facility owners may encounter. This is Frank Rolfe, the Self-Storage University podcast. We're going to be talking about one of Benjamin Franklin's quotes, which is, "It's not the cost to build the fireplace, but to keep it stocked with wood." So what does that mean exactly? Well, let's start off with one thing that some self-storage facility owners ponder, and that is putting in expensive security gates. Now, of course, we all love security, and we're all impressed when we have the security gate where you punch in a code and it opens without any effort on your part. It's a great improvement over the old-fashioned ones where you have to physically get out of your car to open it. But it comes with very significant cost. Not only is the cost of building it, which is not cheap, but also maintaining it. Security gates are notorious for breaking down. They can break down just based on wear and tear, but more commonly, they get struck by an automobile. Now, when the security gate gets struck by an automobile, it can no longer open or close. And now you have a real issue because there's no way that your customers can get to their stuff. So you've got a crisis at hand. Now you have to pay someone to get the thing manually opened unless it's bent so bad you can't. And then you're going to have to go in and repair it. So a security gate is a perfect example of what Franklin said. It isn't how much it costs in the first place, although that price is significant, but it's the cost of keeping it working, keeping it maintained, fixing it when people hit it. Another thing that storage people ponder is if they have gravel roads, should I change that to paved, particularly on exurban storage facilities and even some suburban. Now, in the big city, of course, everything is pretty much paved and asphalt. But when you get outside the city, some people just leave their roads as gravel, and gravel works just fine in most applications. When you go to pave your roads, what they don't tell you is not only is it very expensive on the front end, it's just very expensive forever. Because asphalt is a product that after you lay it, it starts going downhill almost immediately. It tends to gator, it tends to get potholes, and it's very expensive to fix. If you have gravel roads, you just bring out some more gravel and you spread it and you're good for another who knows how long, perhaps years. Asphalt needs constant maintenance, pothole repair, resurfacing, sealing. All of these things cost a lot of money. Many a storage owner has paved the roads and later regretted it. They loved it when it first came out, where it was all jet black and beautifully striped, but then they regretted the continual maintenance cost. The same is true of climate control. If you want to build a climate-controlled section of your self-storage facility, sure, you'll have a lot of expense on the front end, but it never goes away. You'll have continual energy bills to keep it climate-controlled, and then the wear and tear on the climate-controlled system, which have to be periodically serviced and or replaced. Once again, you've created your own monster. Because if you had occupancy and things were going fine without that addition, why the heck are you adding it on? Some people tell me, oh, well, I thought it might help me down the road if I went to sell or to finance. Well, not really. All people really care about is income. And don't forget, you're going to have to charge a whole lot more now because you've got to keep that system working. And that can be a problem. It's similar also when you start adding significant amounts of security lighting to your self-storage facility. Some people want to light it up like it's daytime at nighttime. And I'm all for it. That's great and everything, but don't forget that by the addition of those lights, you will certainly have additional costs in the electricity itself and the continual repair cost. Then there's, of course, the item of the manager. Many people, in their attempt to retain their manager of their storage facility, will start offering certain benefits. the most common of which is healthcare. Healthcare is a really tough benefit. Now, if you're required by law to offer it, well, then you have no choice. But if it's an optional item, don't forget that since the introduction of Obamacare, healthcare premiums have gone absolutely through the roof to incredible levels. Prior to the Obama administration's enactment of the Affordable Care Act, the cost of insuring an employee to today has changed by a multiple of probably 5 to 1. If you gave someone health care prior to the advent of Obamacare, your premium today is going to be a gigantic hit on your expense statement. Whenever you give a manager any increase in pay, you have to think, what is the recurring effect? It felt good at the time, felt good when you said it, when you told someone, oh, hey, I'm going to give you extra money. But like Benjamin Franklin in the fireplace, the problem is that going to drag you down? A big item you have to remember as a self-storage owner is that the value of your facility is based on net income. And every time you do something that takes away some of that revenue in the form of expenses, it's there to haunt you continually. And it will lower the value of your facility by as much as 10 or more to 1. If I put in security gates and the cost to maintain those gates costs me $10,000 a year because people hit the gates on a regular basis, that $10,000 just reduced the value of that storage facility by over $100,000. This is the predicament. It's not that you're just going to lose the money just one time. No. When things get sold, they get sold based on what's called the cap rate. And the cap rate is net income divided by cost of property. And every dollar that you spend will come back to haunt you tenfold. And that's at a 10 cap. If the cap rate is lower, it might even be 12, 13, 14, 15 times that annualized amount. So unlike Benjamin Franklin and the cord of wood to keep the fireplace stocked, well, the cord of wood wasn't very much money back in the 1700s. But it's certainly a whole bigger deal when you're losing upon sale or refinancing of your facility tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars because of the continual cost of things that you thought at the moment were a really good idea. So what do? How do you go forward deciding what to do, what improvements to make to a storage facility? Well, focus on improvements that don't have residual cost. That's a good one. Your sign out front, having a professional looking sign, well, that isn't going to have much residual cost for you. Steer clear of things that do have high levels of residual cost. If things aren't broken, don't fix them. If you're functioning just fine with gravel roads, I don't think I would pave them. Just always remember that at the end of the day, being a good steward of that property means maximizing net income. And to maximize the net income, you not only have to maximize revenue, you have to minimize cost. So as Benjamin Franklin said, it is not just the cost to build the fireplace. It is, in fact, the cost to keep it stocked in wood. And for self-storage facility owners, that cost is even greater than Franklin would have ever thought. This is Frank Rolfe of the Self-Storage University podcast. Hope you enjoyed this. Talk to you again soon.
Thank you for listening to the Self-Storage University podcast. Be sure to visit us at ssupodcast.com, where you can learn the correct way to identify, evaluate, negotiate, perform due diligence on, renegotiate, finance, turnaround, and operate self-storage facilities.